So, guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 337, I believe. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 7:18, and after yesterday's MMM training, I realized something that when I woke up today, my legs looked so small, like just like twigs. So I'm not sure if that's because my body did not recover from the session or because that training has allowed some cardio to make me lose some weight. But either way, I look small as shit today. So if this still persists, then I probably have to just drop it out. I probably have to just focus on building some dense ass muscles because the point of going to the gym is to build an amazing physique. Now, if I'm doing MMA, and yes, I am, or any combat sport, and if I'm learning the sport and whatever, that's cool. But like if I'm not gaining muscle, but yeah, I'm hitting a plateau for gaining muscle, and I'm just losing muscle, and I'm just then there's no point. You see what I mean? Like because I started weightlifting to gain muscle. So if I am doing combat sports and I'm losing muscle, then what's the point of weightlifting anymore? Doesn't make sense to me. So if that's the case, if it does come down to prioritizing on one thing, then I'll focus on weightlifting more than combat sports because I'm a bitch. But either way, guys, there's something that may be different, as you guys may have realized, is that my voice, it feels like my balls has dropped. Now, it isn't because I woke up early or whatever that I have this morning voice because it is 7:20, but rather I have allowed my energy that has been blocked in my throat to finally flow freely. For a long time, ever since I have not read the book Become Supernatural to understand how to channel our energy from blocked areas to unblock them and allow energy to flow thoroughly. And without the understanding before, I had so much energy just blocked on the bottom half of my body. Meaning I have energy just stored up near my sexual organs, near my belly button, near my pancreas, whatever. Just the bottom half of the body. And by doing so, you have urges of lust. You have just uncontrollable emotions. Why? Because our mind is up here. So just imagine if your energy is stuck on the bottom half of your body, then you are in definition by control from your body. Your body controls your mind because all you are sensing, all the energy that is waiting to be released is down here. And if you can't release your energy through your mind, then you're bound to release your energy through anger, through frustration, through rage, or through lust. Whatever the case may be, if your energy is stuck down there, you have to release it this way. So ever since channeling my energy from my bottom half to my top half, I have, first of all, realized that I actually had a lot of energy stuck, or I was unconscious on how to activate my throat center, meaning that I had problem swallowing food properly. I was actually using my mouth muscles instead of my throat. I had problems really speaking as I had no control over my tone of voice. A lot of times I'll sound very squeaky because I was speaking from my nose. I wasn't activating my throat nor diaphragm. So ever since channeling this energy up, I allowed myself to mostly find my tone of voice back again. Second of all, I managed to breathe thoroughly through my mind, from my lungs all the way to my belly button. For a long time, I have not been able to do that, and that had frustrated me. I wasn't able to stay present. I was stressed. I was tense. I was just not at my 100% focus. So ever since channeling my energy thoroughly through my body, I have gained clarity. I have gained self-control. I have gained my tone of voice back. And most importantly, I feel whole. I feel present. I no longer feel just like an entity, a matter, just living on Earth. But rather, I feel as if I am energy. Now, this may sound like an over exaggeration, but once you no longer feel controlled by emotions, once you no longer feel tense about them, then something magical happens. You have this weight just lifted off from your shoulders. You can finally be free and be yourself. Be free and be intentional and use all that energy to create something for yourself. But that being said, I'm gonna go to the gym now and have an amazing leg session. I'll see exactly what it is up with my legs because they are tiny as fuck. So if I go down in weights in my squats, if I don't do great form, if I don't feel any muscle mind connection on my legs, then perhaps yes, they are overtrained, or perhaps yes, I have not recovered from yesterday's training. But really, it was really light training, right? I just did some drills, and it wasn't intense cardio, nor was it really heavy exercise training. So I'll see what it is up with that. And yeah, I'll come back and let you guys know how everything's going. But besides that, today is going to be full of adventure. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, the time is currently 12:10. And for the past 2 hours, I've been reading this book called Clear Thinking, and almost finished it, by the way, because I have been procrastinating my main priority by using this as a distraction, using reading as a distraction. But to be honest with you guys, I rather read and use this as a distraction than to watch TV and be distracted by that, because at least I'm learning something from this. But either way, any distraction that is distracting you from your main priority is procrastinating. And at the end of the day, in order for you to face your fears, you have to end the distraction. So I was going to finish this book today, but I'm going to code, guys. I've been saying this and I haven't done it, but honestly, I have to focus my energy, focus when I am at my most present state, when I'm at my best, to put towards my main priority. Because a recipe for disaster is to use your best moments in your days to focus on the things that is the least of importance to you, and use the worst part of yourself in the day for something that is most important to you. Quote this book. And it is so true. A lot of the times we give our most attention and focus to a distraction. And when we feel like, or when the guilt catches up to us that we should be doing something with our life, we perhaps will go back to do something that's going to make an impact on our lives. But by then we are so fatigued, by then we are so tired, and the day is almost over for us to give a shit about it. So we don't give a lot of effort towards it. So this is why people say start your day by doing something hard. Because when you do that, you are contributing your most alert present in the day to do something that is going to be the most important to you. It is going to be the most of priority to you. So, and also though, by reading this book, Clear Thinking, it also made me understood something important and something I was not sure about before. And that there's a difference between choosing and a decision. A choice is something we are given. Say for like you are given a choice to do something today or not, and you pick something, that is not a decision, that is a choice. Or in other words, if you react without rationalizing, that is also a choice. So a decision is meaning that we have thought over the situation and are conscious with our thought. Therefore, we make a decision. So for the most amount of time, it made me realize that when I am not making a decision consciously, I am making bad choices. I am not thinking clearly. And that to make a decision takes some effort, takes some energy, and takes some will. But most importantly, making a choice and decision can be the same, right? We can choose to not do something and we can make the decision to do something about it. So either or, we have to take responsibility for it. Just because you made a choice unconsciously or you reacted to your emotions unconsciously doesn't mean you don't have to pay for the price of the consequence. But Why make choices unconsciously? Why go into life and let our emotions guide us when we can make a more superior choice making skill, and that is to make decisions instead. Making decisions will impact us to making right choices, as making decisions will make our bad choices turn favorably to us because the decision we make is going to be thought logically and be used in our thought of consciousness. So, making a decision means we have to think. And for a long time, perhaps you guys are not thinking clearly or thoroughly, and therefore we are making choices unconsciously. Because if you think about it, if we are making choices or decisions consciously, then it's most likely that we know that the next choice or thing we should do should be the most logical thing to do. And for me, that means to code. For me, that means to stop distracting myself from reading or anything else, but to focus on something I'm trying to avoid. That is logical thinking. But my choice will be to continue on reading because it is something I have been doing. And most importantly, I have felt comfortable doing this and I'm not afraid of doing it. Right? That is making a choice unconsciously. But if I start to think, and if I start to think clearly, the most rational and logical thing I should be doing next is to face my fears, is to face the problems that I have been avoiding. That is making a decision. So perhaps we are not making or thinking clearly enough because we don't understand the difference between making a choice and a decision. And that we think making a decision and making a choice is the same thing. And we can't blame you for that because it does feel like it's the same thing, right? If you make a choice to do something or you make a decision to do something, they both sound the same. But in reality, one we are thinking and one we are not. And when we are not thinking, the choices we tend to make are that of our default, meaning that they are choices we have been making for a long time, the choices we have been making because they have become habits. Therefore, we don't think about them. And making a decision means we have to think, we have to thought, we have to be present. And sometimes when we are present, we don't like the choice we have to make next. And sometimes that means we have to face the fears. Sometimes that means we have to do something different. And that builds all these and reminds us of all these fear, doubt, and all these negative emotions that prevents us from making the right choice. So the next time you think you're making the right choice, just really think about it. Don't just let your default take over. Don't let your emotions take over. Don't let what you have been doing for eternity take over. Think and think about it consciously. And sometimes that outcome may be that you don't want to do something. And just know when you come to that thought of realization that your decision making will be something that's going to be uncomfortable, then that may be just a choice you have to start making in life. And for me, well, it's pretty obvious. I will have to get back to coding or do something with my life. So, that being said, I'll see you guys briefly. So guys, the time is currently 7:30 and I have just came back from my wrestling session and boy, do my body hurt. There's bruises everywhere, but it was definitely an amazing session. I can't say I learned a lot because I just went into the wrestling session not knowing exactly what to do, and I have just went into there and pretty much just got dropped on my ass many times over. But hey, that is what it is. So you go into an uncomfortable situation, and the first thing you should do is to not be scared to try something, but to fail as soon as you get there, so that you can learn. And if you don't learn from your failures, well, at least you put yourself out there. You overcame your fears. So that goes with everything. But today, after wrestling, I came back 10 day and I'm just so happy. Why? Because afternoon, as I was doing my coding, yes, I done my coding. But before I done that, I realized my monitor resolution was totally messed up. Since yesterday, after my laptop had a power outage, it probably did something to my HDMI cable, but I did not understand if that was the cause. But pretty much my monitor was like all zoomed in, all stretched out, and it was just very bothering me because I am someone who likes everything to be perfect if I can make it perfect. So really stressed out. Spent few hours just wondering what the problem was, looking on YouTube, looking online, and just could not find my solution because, quite frankly, I didn't know what the problem was. And this really bothered me, right? It gave me a lot of unneeded stress. It gave me a lot of unneeded stress, and I was very close to just reacting on my stress, right? I was very close to just probably like binging, even just have a wank or whatever to just to release that stress. But I realized something that is my reactive mind talking. That is my mind trying to make this unconscious choice. It is trying to distract myself and perhaps do the easiest thing that I could, release my stress. I was reacting to my emotions. But when I realized that this was not the way to go, and if I do this, and I was rationalizing, and I was thinking, if I did go down the route of destruction, if I go down the route of self-sabotage, what is the benefit of me? Do I actually release my stress, or do I become more stressed because I choose to self sabotage further? Because I choose to give in to my emotions and make dumb decisions? So, after being conscious, after staying present, and using my energy to make the right decision, I didn't allow my stress to bother me further. I actively looked for a solution. I was being proactive. I was figuring out exactly what could have went wrong. I went to the company's website and I asked for help online, although they didn't help me solve my problem. They did give me some troubleshooting techniques, and guess what? I was patient, I was persistent, and I trusted and believed the process. And before I left, I turned everything off and I pretty much did like a soft start way, just unplug all the cables and let all the electrons flow out pretty much. And guess what? Came back, opened the monitor, everything worked fine. So what did this mean to me? Is that if we make choices based on emotions, if we act and react to our emotions, then we are bound to make dumb choices. We are bound to make choices that we later will regret. The choices we make based on our emotions will rarely serve us. Rather, sometimes we have to learn to understand how to make decisions, how to stay conscious in moment of stressful situations. And by doing so, we are bound to make good choices. And by doing so, we will make decisions that will actually solve our problem rather than avoid our problem and perhaps just mediocrely put a band-aid solution over it to fix the symptom. The symptom was our stress. The symptom was I was looking for a way to distract myself, to release myself of the stress. And the symptom would be to perhaps binge eat, to quiet my mind, to perhaps watch TV to distract my mind, or perhaps to have a wank to release this energy. Or I could focus on the problem that I was frustrated at my monitor, and the only way to get there is perhaps to look for help. Yes, it's going to take time. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable to find a solution, but guess what? Life is uncomfortable, and if we can't face uncomfortableness, then we never will become great, then we never will get past our own emotional inertia and our own default standards, and that is to avoid failure, avoid our emotions, and find things in comfort. If we can't overcome our own self, then our body will control our mind. And by doing so, I coded today. I faced the thing I was afraid, I faced my failures, and yes, coming back to coding, I realized something. I am forgetting how to do shit. I am forgetting how to code. But guess what? If I don't do this, then I will truly forget. But overcoming this hurdle is my first pass to a successful journey of growth. And by doing so, I have laid the foundations and expectations of what I can overcome. And it is the small wins every single day, guys, that truly matters, that will build your character and it will elevate you to become the person you want to be. But just remember, don't make choices and don't react on your emotions, but rather make decisions is the key lesson today. Is to make rational decisions, stay conscious, and don't make choices, but make decisions that's going to solve your problem and not mediocrely cover it up with a band-aid solution. Fix your root problem, not the symptom. But this is all I gotta say for today. Hungry as fuck. ready to eat. So I hope you guys have learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for rest tomorrow. But until then, good night.